What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic, and when it comes to Disney World, things are getting a little pricey, as Disney announced last week about price increases on tickets, annual passes, basically everything in between. And off the heels of those price increases, the Cake Bake Shop, I think, looked at that and decided, hey, let's raise some prices too, as they offered a new Santa Claus dining experience that is $200 per person.
What did you say?
And no, you did not hear me wrong. $200 per person before gratuity. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is included with this, because unless it's dining with Santa himself, I'm going to have a hard time believing it's worth $200. And if you're wondering, children are cheaper, but not by that much. So we're going to look into what is offered here and give some thoughts on this new dining experience. And I just want to say right off the bat before we get into this, the Cake Bake Shop is not owned and operated by Disney. They are not setting the prices here. They're not running this restaurant. The Cake Bake Shop has other establishments in other cities. They're renting space from Disney on the boardwalk here. So I just want to make that clear. And this restaurant is rather notorious for some of its higher priced items, you could say. When it was first introduced, I did a video on it last year as to some of the prices here were rather seemingly jumped off the page a bit. When you first see those. So this is not the first time they've made news about pricing of items at their restaurant here. But we have an article here from Disney Tourist Blog by Tom Bricker. It says, new $200 Santa Claus Christmas dining coming to Cake Bake Shop restaurant at Disney World. 1 year ago, Walt Disney World fans united around a common enemy. It was around this time in October when the Cake Bake Shop, already controversial for replacing ESPN Club and offering an upscale dining experience at the boardwalk, posted its first menus outside the restaurant. Disney diehards immediately tore into these. It was a mix of mockery and outrage, the likes of which we hadn't seen in a while. It was also a rare moment of unity. Rather than arguing about whether the Rivers of America was obsolete or if cars belonged in Frontierland, they don't, but I digress, or whatever else was the controversy of the day, Walt Disney World fans all agreed that Cake Bake prices were astronomical. Being familiar with the other Cake Bake locations and likely differences in rent between Indiana and Walt Disney World, I was expecting high prices, but I was nevertheless shocked. I've been doing this a while. It takes a lot to shock me at this point, but you know what? Kids menus with $18 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and $18 grilled cheese, and $8 Cokes, $26 eggs, and $26 fruit plates will do it. Yeah, when those first got announced, I remember that. I think the burger was in the $30 range, and they did actually end up lowering prices before the restaurant opened. I do remember that. And I will say, I actually have eaten here. Now, I had said previously when I did this video a year ago that I was not going to eat at this place because these prices were crazy. But one of our longtime listeners of the podcast, she offered to take my wife and I here to try this place because she was a fan of it. And I will say, the food actually is really good. The atmosphere is interesting. And I had the burger here, and it was one of the best burgers I've had on Disney property. So the food and everything here is actually really good. Different conversation whether or not the prices are worth it. It's definitely uppity dining in many ways. Like, it's obviously not like you're walking into like a high scale restaurant, like you have to wear a suit and tie. It's very much a place where you can imagine bridal showers taking place, very fancy with glitter and champagne and wine and all sorts of things like that. Tea party-esque in many ways, I guess you could say. So it's not an establishment that is for me, I will just say. But I will say the food here, to their defense of what I have had, is actually very good. But yeah, $18 PB&Js and $8 Cokes, it's just insane. Here's hoping some good old-fashioned internet outrage can work its magic once more, as Cake Bake Shop has announced a new Dinner with Santa Claus dining experience during the Christmas season, and surprise, surprise, it is pricey. It also looks and sounds kind of awesome and something we'd love to take our daughter to experience if they ever have a coupon day. Here are full details via the Cake Bake Shop's Dinner and Santa Claus page. Even Santa looks fancy. He's not even wearing red. He's wearing his, I guess he's wearing his whites. I don't know what, I don't recall Santa ever having that wardrobe, but you know, I guess when he's charging $200 per person, he's got to dress up a little bit. So celebrate the season with a festive evening filled with sparkling cocktails and champagne, hors d'oeuvres, dinner, dessert, and a family gift to take home, which is not your money, I'm going to guess. Delight in a family photo and special visit with Santa Claus himself. Dinner with Santa Claus at Cake Bake Shop is available on the following dates: November 18th, November 25th, December 2nd, and December 9th. It includes a 3-course holiday dinner. Prepared especially for this festive occasion, we have crafted a delightful 3-course dinner to sprinkle your evening with holiday cheer. The menu begins with sparkling holiday champagne and cocktails, and elegant hors d'oeuvres, followed by a sumptuous main entree. This wording is hoity-toity, to say the least. Designed to warm the heart. Concludes with a seasonal dessert sweetly inspired by the magic of the season. You also get a professional family photo with Santa, not a lowly, just anybody taking this picture. It is professional. Included with your visit, each family will receive a beautifully captured photograph to download from Disney PhotoPass to treasure for years to come. Every family will have the chance to meet Santa Claus himself. I would hope so. For $200 per person, sharing their holiday pixie glitter wishes. What does that even mean? Which is trademarked. While basking in the magic of the season, from twinkling smiles to whispered wishes, this special moment is designed to become a sparkling memory, a keepsake as timeless as Santa's own story. Whoever wrote these menus was really using their thesaurus. They're like, we got to make this sound super, super worth it. Use really fancy imagery. A lot of glittering here. We need a trademark holiday pixie glitter wishes for this, guys. We got to make this on. We got to just go above and beyond here. You also get a sweet gift from Santa. Santa has hand-selected this delightful cookie just for you to take home and assemble with your loved ones. Well, you got to make it yourself? What kind of gift is that? And it's in the shape of our Bubbles the Bear. Inside, you'll find a handmade sugar cookie and all the ingredients you need to make a scrumptious cookie good enough for Santa. This enchanting activity extends the magic of the season into your home, letting you continue the celebration as you craft a dessert as whimsical as it is delicious, or a reminder that you paid $200 per person for a dinner with Santa that you may want to forget after you do it. But either way, you have a keepsake. Dinner with Santa Claus includes, okay? Now, adults, like I said, $200 per person. You're thinking, surely kids aren't that expensive. They're not $200. They're not, listen, guys, they're not crazy. Kids are just $150 per person, okay? It's very reasonable, all right? Like, I don't know what everybody's getting all worked up about. Very reasonable pricing for children that totally are going to eat $150 worth of food. I mean, if they're like our children, totally are not going to just eat a couple of things and be done at all. That would not happen. So the adult side, you get up to 3 beverages. It's not even unlimited beverages at $200. Up to 3 beverages. Additional beverages are available for purchase.
Right to jail, right away.
Wow. An entree of your choice, a seasonal dessert from our menu, a professional photo with Santa Claus, digital download through the PhotoPass. That's the same thing. They're trying to make it seem like there's extra things. And a gift to take home, which is a cookie you get to make when you get home. It's not even really a gift. It's just a thing you get to eat again. It says, kindly note, price does not include tax and gratuity. Full non-refundable cost is required at time of reservation confirmation, including tax and a 24% gratuity.
We're not going to do it.
So if you're a family of 4, and so I'm just going to take my situation, 2 adults, 2 children. That is $700 right there for this experience. Adding in gratuity on top of that brings the cost of this meal to $868. And that is also before tax, which the tax is 7%. It's 6.5% to 7.5%. Let's go in the middle and say it's 7%. So that's $49 in tax. This entire meal for a family of 4 would be around $918-ish.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Almost $1,000 for this meal for a family of 4. Like, what are the entrees? That's part of this too. Like, what are the entrees? Adult dinner menu. Let's see. We have Cosmopolitan, Martini, Old Fashioned, Sangria. You have Rosé, some wines, hot chocolate. You have lavender lemonade. So those are the drinks up to 3 that you get there, but other ones are extra. The hors d'oeuvres is charcuterie, so you get a charcuterie board, which is basically grown-up Lunchables, but I know people enjoy charcuterie boards. So the entrees you get to choose from, and you only get 1. Roasted chicken, you have beef bourguignon, and I had to look that up, how to pronounce that, not going to lie, and roasted leek pasta. And the dessert is your selection from our holiday seasonal menu. And for children, their beverages are hot chocolate, sparkling lavender lemonade, pink princess, and a punch. Hors d'oeuvres, which are grilled cheese bites. The entrees are chicken tenders, cavatappi and cheese, and cheeseburger sliders. and then another selection from the holiday seasonal menu for dessert. The easy play here would be to dunk on the cake bake shop for the exorbitant pricing of its dinner with Santa Claus. Yeah, I can imagine a lot more things you could do with almost $1,000 on a vacation, or just really anything, especially Christmas time. You got to buy Christmas presents. You got to be spending $200 per person on eating with a fake Santa. And to be sure, this is extremely expensive. For the cost of this Santa Claus character dining experience, if you want to call it that, you could do breakfast a la art with Mickey and Friends at Topolino's Terrace, which is actually very good. I highly recommend that one as a meal. I've never had a bad meal at Topolino's Terrace, to be fair. And storybook dining diner with Snow White at Artist Point, and still have money left over. You could probably do both of those plus a fireworks dessert party once a more reasonable tax and tip are factored into the mix if you want to really splurge. While the price of dinner with Santa Claus is objectively expensive, there's also the subjective side of this that I find mildly off-putting. Perhaps this is partly because I first saw this on Instagram with a chorus of comments. It's inexplicably unanimously positive. I'm shocked to hear that on Instagram, although engagement there is often vapid and insincere. But there are elements of the announcement that just strike me as unnecessarily pretentious. I agree, Tom Bricker. That's the vibe of cake bake in general, though. Needless capitalization and accent marks, hoity-toity words, etc. I've learned to mostly ignore this. I haven't. It's what the target audience of cake bake seems to like. So who am I to spoil their fun? I've also learned to mostly ignore this because I found myself in the position of reluctant cake bake shop defender. The restaurant doesn't deserve all the hate it gets, and frankly, if more Walt Disney World fans were willing to give it a chance, it would become one of their favorites. The primary appeal of Cake Bake Shop is very similar to what made so many fans fall in love with Walt Disney World in the first place. I don't know about all that. And of course, there's going to be an audience for this, and there are some people watching this video, they're going to say, hey, I would totally do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving you my Midwestern values opinion. And this seems absolutely bonkers to me at the price point that this dinner is. And like I said, it had no wording in there about actually eating with Santa himself. I don't recall that being in there, like Santa sitting with you at the table or interacting with the kids. You get a picture with him and that's about it. For that price point, Disney character dining is already expensive. You're talking some of these meals are in the $70 range. And that is like, you look at that and you're just like, man, that is a lot of money. And at least with the character dining at Disney, the characters walk around and you take pictures with them, you get multiple interactions with them, and it's a buffet. You get to eat all you want for the most part, or all you care to enjoy family style. This is not that. There's a lot of demand for premium experiences like these. People are willing to splurge on offerings that feel custom-made and personalized. We've seen a proliferation, he's using some big words too, of pricier prefixed menus at restaurants in the post-reopening era. Even as revenge travel has faded, people are still prioritizing experiences. There's a larger subset of consumers willing to splurge on luxury level ones. When you're talking about these things, nobody's forcing anybody to do this meal. So first and foremost, if people want to do it, don't let my criticism of the price deter anybody from doing something. I say the same thing about anything, what I think or what anybody thinks of rides or movies or whatever it is. Don't let anybody else's opinion dissuade you from something you want to do. But at this price point, this is definitely reaching a demographic that is well beyond what I'm willing to spend at these things. And I think that's very obvious here. This is like a sports car that is, a $200,000 sports car. I know people buy those. And if I had the money to get those, I would rather spend my money on other things, personally speaking. But that's just me. So when it comes to this, personally speaking, no, I don't think this is remotely worth it. I'm shocked that does not include tip, that you still have a 24% tip and tax on top of it. It comes down to $150 for kids when you're talking about a Santa thing just seems exploitative. It just seems like you're exploiting the fact that kids want to meet with Santa. And then what are they going to ask Santa for Christmas? This is the other thing. If you're spending this much money on this dining experience, and then I'm sure at some point Santa's going to be like, what do you want for Christmas? And your kids want something crazy expensive. You could have used that money you spent on the dining there to go get them whatever they wanted. So not only do you run the risk of just spending all this money here, but then you got to shell out more money for whatever they want for Christmas. I would much rather get more really high-end dining at multiple restaurants than just dropping it at one place to get a picture with Santa that you can also just get all over Disney property during Christmas. I mean, you can get pictures with Santa in the parks. You can get it at Disney Springs. Like, you can go to the mall. Like, Santa's everywhere at Christmas time. I mean, I guess he shows up to fancy dinners too, but you know, you can get pictures with Santa wherever you want. That's just my take on it. That's what I would choose to do. But again, people are going to make their choices about this. And if this is something that appeals to you, you now know about it. But either way, that is going to be it, though, for this video. So if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about a dining experience with Santa for $200? And is this something you would look at doing? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.